Welcome to This is Yoga Therapy. I'm your host, Michele Lawrence. Join me as we venture beyond the mat into the fascinating intersections of yoga and health. Each episode brings you candid conversations with the visionary leaders and practitioners who are truly shaping this field, sharing their stories, insights, and the profound impact of yoga therapy in action. Today's guest believes that the ultimate partner in our healing isn't found in a textbook, but in the earth beneath our feet. I'm so excited to introduce today Carrie Asby. Carrie is a wellness coach. She's an author, a retreat founder, and a fellow yoga practitioner who is trailblazing the world of ecotherapy. I think this is the first time we've talked about this on the podcast, this subject. She helps people move away from the pursuit of perfection and toward the power of presence. We definitely talk about that a lot on the podcast, but it's so great to meet you, Carrie. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I am very honored.
I would love if you could just talk about the journey of remembering. Before we dive into the science of ecotherapy, maybe tell us about your own journey home. What was the moment you realized that nature needed to be a formal partner in your healing work?
So I was on a wellness path before I kind of introduced nature healing into actually my own practice and teaching and guiding. But I will take you, I'll take you to 2020, COVID. We all know that year. I was living in New York City and I was having the time of my life. And I was doing environmental activism. I had a purpose. I had a great community. I was teaching yoga in Central Park. I felt alive. I felt more myself than anything. And then actually, so on March 3rd, I talked to a friend of mine who does analytical work for the airlines. And he said, not if, but when COVID hits New York City, it's going to be horrific. And I want you to be really careful. So I think it was about 9 days later, I was doing some part-time work with Patagonia, and they sent out a global email saying, we're really worried about everybody. This could be really ugly. We don't know what's going to happen. We just want everyone to go home and stay home and be safe. And after my conversation with my friend, I was like, no, I'm getting out. So I managed to get a rental car and just packed up my stuff and my yoga gear, my dog, and my food. And I just was like, I'm going to go to the wild. And I think about the time I hit Nebraska is when New York City became the epicenter. And the New York that I had loved and the community that I'd built and everything that I cherished was gone. And then I had this rental car. So it's like, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'll go to my parents who are in Oregon. And they have a big home and we can work this out together. And I want to be really clear. I do love my parents very much. And in fact, my relationship with them is the best it's ever been. But my parents, they were raised with people who had bad habits. And as a result, my parents had bad habits. And I grew up in a household where there wasn't a lot of love and understanding and nurturing and compassion and, a warm held space. And so I was going to go back into that. And I had done my work and knew how to nurture myself. I knew how to take care of myself. And I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. So I grew up backpacking in the outdoors in the woods all the time. So that's everywhere I would go to feel safe. So when I'm trying to take care of myself, I go to the woods. So I spent majority of my time in COVID in the woods, looking at the birds, watching, the flowers bloom, everything, just being in nature to get myself to go through it. And I knew if I didn't have nature, I would not have gone through that as well as I could have, as well as I did. And so I was like, I want to introduce this. I need to bring this into what I offer, but I didn't know how. And so time goes by and things are beginning to open up again and we can start doing things. And I love to backcountry ski. It's one of my passions. And I hadn't been in years. I'm like, well, this is going to be the year because of the situation.
Resorts are closed.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm going to take a course on refreshing avalanche safety, backcountry safety. And so we were on our way up to Mount St. Helens one day, and I was sharing how I was like, I love nature. It heals us. I don't know how to bring this into what I teach. And our guide that day, he just laughed and smiled and he goes, well, I just happen to have my PhD in ecotherapy. And I'm like, I have no idea what ecotherapy is. And he goes, well, it's exactly what you've been looking for. And so I ended up signing up for my certification with Linda Biswell. She actually co-created the kind of the ecotherapy Bible. And so then I learned basically the approaches, the theories, and how to apply them. And that's how I'm now able to integrate healing with nature into what I offer.
Really beautiful. And it's interesting when we talk about our different experiences with March 2020, how um like I can feel this really deep inner reaction to your storytelling because it hit us all so deeply. And even though it was personal, it was also universal, right? And I think
Yeah.
it's something that we'll forever have in our DNA, really. Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I love this distinction that you make that it isn't about perfection, it's about a single step home. And in yoga therapy, we often work with the nervous system, for example. How does nature act as a co therapist in regulating our energy and focus?
Okay. So the modern world, it draws our attention and it drains us and it drowns us out. Our schedules, the screens, it builds up anxiety, it depletes us. Nature does just the opposite. Nature puts us in awe. Nature calms us. Nature automatically triggers your parasympathetic nervous system. Just by stepping outside and feeling the breeze, taking a moment to feel the breeze or the sun on your face or smell a flower, that calms you. So it's one of the best co-therapists because it's always there, it's always supportive, and it's free.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it automatically puts you into your calm, clear state.
Mhm. It's so true. I'd love it if you could define the term ecotherapy. As you mentioned kind of in your opening story, you had never heard of it, and now you are an ecotherapist. And I
Mhm.
bet you plenty of our listeners haven't heard of it either. And I'm wondering, is it as simple as just stepping outside and taking a walk? Or is there a specific intentionality that transforms a routine into a ritual? What is ecotherapy?
So ecotherapy is healing with nature. And the good news is that nature is all around us. It's the air, it's the sun, it's the clouds. Everywhere you look, there's nature. So you really don't have to go. I mean, you can go on a long walk. You don't have to. It's about more of your intention with nature and engaging with it. Taking a moment to use your senses. What do I hear? What do I see? What can I smell? Can I touch? Is it even an option to taste? Engaging, being completely present with nature, that is going to be the benefit of ecotherapy. Because, I said before, it's going to calm you. So, a ritual is the intention. I want to put the intention of being present with nature. A routine is just a checklist, just to autopilot. So the difference between a ritual and a routine is your intention behind it. And having intention to be connecting with nature is what the healing effects comes from of being of nature.
Mm-hmm. And as an ecotherapist, what does that work look like? Do you guide clients toward bringing in the nature that's all around them with intentionality? Is that really the premise?
Ecotherapy is weaving into everything that I teach. My foundation is mindfulness. Mindfulness is, as we to kind of a refresher, is about being completely present so that you can be calm and have clarity and navigate forward in life, not from reaction, but from with intention. And ecotherapy, being in nature, is a mindful practice because nature does have a moment to bring us into this present moment and get us into our best state. So everything I guide people in, from even like my Instagram feed, which gives inspiration and tips, to my book, to my online course, to my retreats, when everything I guide is a combination of mindfulness, with ecotherapy being really a big part of it.
I gotcha. Yep. And so you've mentioned that self-love is activism,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's a powerful statement. And so wondering if you could share with us, how does the act of healing ourselves in connection with the earth actually contribute to healing the collective world around us?
So self-love is activism because it changes how we treat everything. When we take care of ourselves, nurture your mind, nurture your body, nurture your being, get yourself in a place where you feel safe and comfortable and confident, and you navigate forward in that space. So you're treating yourself that way, but you also start treating other people that way. That's who you bring to the table. And so your actions and decisions become more caring and loving and mindful. And so that you help enhance other people's lives, but also your actions and your thoughts become more intentional towards your home, your planet. So it just ripples out when it starts within, and then it spreads to others, and it spreads to the world.
Yeah, I totally agree. One of the things that your work touches on is how natural spaces improve our relationships and even our leadership. And so I'm someone who leads a large school and works with many professionals. I'm just kind of curious, how does green time change the way we show up in our leadership places, whether that's boardrooms or yoga studios or clinics or wherever we're working?
Green time is being able to step out of places that are over sensationalized, screens, lights that can be upsetting our eyes, air conditioned, where it's not really good, it brings out bad energy, and stepping away from it and getting a reset. And being able to, and however you do it, maybe it's a walk, or maybe it's just even lunch outside, or maybe it's a day out in the woods or as a team or something, but you can integrate it daily. You can do an hour, you can do half a day, but however you integrate it into your program, it gives people a chance to reset. And you can ask yourself, well, what kind of leader do I want? Do I want someone who is calm, who is kind, compassionate, creative, understanding? So, someone that is able to go and reset, that's the type of leader we're going to get. People who don't take that time to reset, who don't get the moment to get into that chill space, they're always going to be amped up, and they're going to be quick response. They're going to be reactionary. They're going to be feisty. They're in, panic mode. They're in survival mode. So they don't make good decisions. And so it's like, you want a calm leader, give them the opportunity to be in a calm space.
Hmm. And so you lead these soul nourishing retreats. And when you take a group out into the wild, what's the most common shift you see in people when they finally put their phones down, they get some green time, they put their feet in the grass? What starts to happen?
It's so fun to see, because it doesn't all happen at once. It kind of, each person's individual. And so they all go through the same process, but their own pace. But you get to see the shoulders drop just naturally. You get to see the smiles shift. They're not really like, but it's authentic and genuine. You just see like this layer of tension just literally melt from their body, from their being. And so they're just more fluid. And the smiles is just so much more genuine. And it's just this little shift of like literally coming back to being in the state that we're supposed to be in, into this
Mm.
place of presence and joy.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And just even kind of taking that a step further, you mentioned presence. I would imagine that once those shifts start to take place, their ability to connect and be present for others also amplifies.
Yeah. And that's why such beautiful relationships come out of experiences like this because their shell has literally shifted away, and so they're able to open up. And then when you open up, that's when you have that authentic connection.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's another thing. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. You can go to a week retreat, but you're going to walk away with relationships that are going to last a lifetime.
And how do you encourage people to integrate and carry forward what they gain from a retreat like this, which is probably a few days or maybe a week, and then they go back into their lives? Do you offer them some daily tips to keep it going?
Yeah, the whole experience is to introduce things that they're not going to take everything with them into the next, once they leave. But I offer it up enough so that they can integrate their favorites into their daily life. It's generally my retreats are minimum 5 days because it starts help building the habit. We do it every day. And by the time they leave, they maybe have already created that momentum to keep it going. But I definitely give them a smorgasbord
Uh-huh.
of practices that they can pick from, that they can take with them.
Well, let's talk about the tools right now. And maybe, I know our listeners love practical tools as well. And perhaps if someone is feeling chaotic world burnout right now, what is one simple ecotherapy ritual that they can do today, even if they live in a city, to anchor their energy?
Well, the great thing is we always have the sky. And if you are finding yourself in a moment where you need to change your state, you're tense, you're really stressed, you just want, you're aware that I need to do something different. If you're able to step outside, and even if it's raining, you grab your raincoat. If it's cold, grab your puffy, prepare yourself for the elements. If stepping outside's not an option, find a window, open it up. If you can't open it up, just look outside and do this quick little ritual. You can put your hand on your heart and you can take 3 really deep breaths. Nice inhale deeply, full breath, and calmly exhale. And then you just take 10, you can do 3 of those, get yourself in a good place. And then just look at the sky and give yourself like 10 seconds to notice the sky. What color is it? What are the clouds? Are there any birds? What is it, sunny? Is it, obviously if it's super sunny, please don't look at the sun, but just savor the sky just for a few moments and then take or awareness of how it literally did shift your energy.
Hmm. And the beautiful thing is, we've got the night sky too, right? Which offers a totally different perspective, but the same opportunity.
Exactly. We always have the sky.
Hmm.
And then there's the fun part. It's like, "Oh, hello, moon. Where are you tonight? Oh, look at this, the moon, and the night sky is my favorite because
Hmm.
the moon is so playful."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been a really beautiful conversation, really grounding. And it's a reminder that, we call ourselves inner peace yoga therapy, and the inner peace we seek is often reflected in the world all around us. I'm wondering if you can share a little bit more about your current work, where listeners can find your book, learn more about your retreats, take that next step with you. And we'll share these links in our show notes as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, my website, which is my name, carrieasby.com, is my hub. You'll be able to find my book, linked to my online course, which is called Step into Self-Love. I also have a ton of free resources. And in fact, for your listeners, if they're interested, if they go to carrieasby.com/freebie, and it's, hold on, FREEBIE, they can download a free 5-minute self-love guide. Um, and yeah, the website is a great place to find everything that I offer. And then for fun, Instagram is another place where I love to share inspiration, fun stories, lots of wellness tips, and just a great place to help you keep a smile on your face. And that's my name, Carrie Asby, as well.
That's great. Is there anything upcoming that you're particularly excited about?
Actually, yes, because I put the retreats on hold, and I actually have a really I don't wanna jinx them, but I have an opportunity to do another retreat either in 2026 or 27. Time always goes by fast, but I do have an opportunity for a really unique retreat coming up. Even if this opportunity doesn't come to blossom, I will definitely be putting a retreat back up on the schedule because I missed hosting them, and it's time
Mhm.
to bring them back.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation today, for the work that you do. And thanks to our listeners for joining us. And I hope we can all take a moment today to either go outside or look at the sky and take a deep breath and remember that you're part of this wild healing earth. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again for listening. If you're interested to learn more about who we are and what we do, check us out at innerpeaceyogatherapy.com.